Coming up on NCC News at 4 o'clock. We have an update on a Syracuse shooting that left 2 people injured and 1 person in critical condition early this morning.
And a surprising arrest has been made following a home invasion in Cayuga County Sunday morning.
It's a beautiful day in Syracuse as veterinary hospitals and doggy daycares are opening. I'll have more on this story. I'm Daryl Cunningham. NCC News starts now.
Syracuse police are still investigating a shooting at a Syracuse deli that left 1 man in critical condition. I'm Dana Casulo.
And I'm Keenan Dixon. Here's today's top story. As New York begins to reopen, crime is headlining the newscast for the first time in a while. A shooting in Syracuse has left 2 people injured, including 1 fighting for his life. At 1:15 this morning, police responded to a call at Sabatino's Pizza and Deli on South Salina Street, where they found 2 men with gunshot wounds. So far, no arrests have been made, and police are encouraging anyone with information to contact them.
An investigation is ongoing after a home invasion in Cayuga County led to 3 arrests. Kenneth R. Scott was arrested after entering the home of Eric Pryor with a weapon. Pryor was arrested after police found drugs and cash in his home. When officers arrived at the scene, a suspicious vehicle was found near the residence where the driver was found to be intoxicated. The driver of the vehicle that was found near the scene was Harry Fearson, 24, and was arrested for driving while intoxicated. According to the police, the charges are still pending.
Doggy daycares and vets were given the okay to open up in central New York.
Our reporter Daryl Cunningham talks with one shop owner on her first day of the reopening process.
Rump and Play is just one of the many doggy daycares and veterinarian hospitals in Syracuse that were fully closed down on March 20th, 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. When co-owner Cheryl Calories of R&P was notified that they would be able to open back up to business as usual, she was
thrilled, absolutely thrilled. Can't be any happier.
Many dogs will be making their way back into their normal daycare drop-off routines, but rules for parents have slightly changed.
Right now, we are not allowing any customers, only staff, which is me and my daughter, in the building. The customers stay outside. We're glad that it's nice weather right now. They are taking the leashes and the collars off and taking them with them. We then provide another collar just so they have a collar on during the day so that we don't transfer any germs. We've checked with our vet and we've checked with the sources to make sure that we're doing the right thing.
Make sure to call your doggy daycare and vet to check in on health and safety precautions you may need to make before bringing your pet in. I'm Daryl Cunningham, NCC News.
A trip to the beach looked a little bit different on Memorial Day.
At Fairhaven State Beach Park in Cayuga County, guests said to keep their areas 10 feet apart while practicing social distancing. The beach was restricted to 50% capacity, and reminders about maintaining distance were announced over the speakers throughout the day. Governor Andrew Cuomo rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange this morning, reopening the trading floor for the first time since March 23rd.
It didn't reopen the way it was. It reopened smarter than before. Fewer people, wearing masks, new precautions that the stock exchange has incorporated.
The governor remains optimistic about where the state is headed, with several metro regions downstate going into phase 1 of the reopening process today.
On Monday, Governor Cuomo announced families of the frontline workers killed by coronavirus will be entitled to government-backed benefits. Cuomo said public health workers, police, firefighters, transit workers, and medics deserve more than just a thank you for their work during the pandemic. Money for the benefits will be given by local or state pension funds.
Oswego County and Upstate University are working together to bring drive-through coronavirus testing to residents of the county. The mobile testing unit will be in Mexico on Wednesday, May 27 and Thursday, May 28th from 10 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. The drive-through testing is for coronavirus only and it is not to test for the antibodies.
If you feel hot in central New York today, you're not alone. Brady Williams joins us to celebrate bringing in the heat.
Well, it's no secret it's a hot one today, but it's actually a record-setting level of heat today. The previous record for May 26 was set in 2011 at 90 degrees. Today, we hit 91 degrees. That started at about 2 p.m. and that continued throughout the afternoon. And that trend is going to continue all the way through tomorrow, where we have a high of 89 degrees. The record for May 27th was 91 degrees, so if it swings a little bit in that direction, we could have a couple of record-setting days. Things have cooled off considerably on the hour. We're looking at about 83 degrees outside right now, but that's going to feel quite a bit hotter. With 58% humidity, there's not much breeze to cut through all the mugginess. Stay tuned for our 445 update, where I'm going to have updates on all of these records, and we're going to take a look at the week ahead.
Coming up, I will be taking you to a popular square in downtown San Jose, California, to show how their restaurants are adjusting to the new takeout and delivery requirements.
Coming up after the break,
we will look at how the city of Syracuse is testing out a new method of restaurant takeout. That story and more coming up next. With Syracuse's Armory Square offering grab-and-go services starting tomorrow, restaurants all over the country are doing the same.
our Cheyenne Nobrega is showing us how a spot in California is dealing with their new state restaurant regulations.
6 feet apart signs, restricted walking areas, and face masks are the new norm at the popular San Pedro Square in downtown San Jose. The square opened their doors to the public for the first time in 8 weeks.
We decided to do just pick up and delivery to reopen so that these small businesses could, start getting back to work again and, keep their business going.
Only 15 restaurants and vendors in the square are open for orders, one of them being local Italian restaurant Pasta Fresca. Owner Sean McKenna has seen a 90% drop in business the first week since opening back up.
I was probably doing, and I'm one of the smaller ones here, I was doing 8 to 10 times, probably 10 to 15 times the amount of business that I'm doing now.
This decrease has forced McKenna and other owners to change how they do business. This means working with delivery apps, making to-go friendly menus, and marketing themselves online. Head of marketing for the square, Tara Santuri, says social media for some vendors has been a challenge.
A lot of our merchants, they're all mom and pops. They're very small. Some of them don't have an online presence. They don't have websites or social media. With running marketing, I'm working with all of those individual merchants to make sure that they have an online presence. They have photos that make their food look attractive, because right now people are buying with their eyes.
Reporting from San Jose, California, I'm Cheyenne Nobrega.
San Jose isn't the only one making restaurant adjustments. Syracuse Mayor Ben Welsh announced a new pilot program that will test curbside parking for a grab-and-go service for retailers and restaurants in downtown Syracuse. Under the pilot program, short-term parking will be allowed in designated areas to allow for curbside pickup. The pilot begins tomorrow, May 27th, and will take place in Armory Square and Hanover Square.
With restaurants closed due to COVID-19, there hasn't been many people coming in, but there is an increase in an unwanted visitor. The CDC is warning that certain areas across the country are reporting an increase in rodent activity as rats look for sources of food other than restaurant dumpsters. To prevent exposure to diseases that the rats may carry, the CDC recommends people should make sure their entrances to their homes or businesses are sealed, garbage is disposed of in tightly covered bins, and pet and bird food is removed from yards.
Coming up next, Governor Cuomo makes a big announcement, and we hear from the assistant Syracuse tennis coach on how their season ended. Thanks, guys. And yes, we are coming up on nearly 3 months without live sports, but we're starting to see a little bit of glimpse of light at the end of this reopening tunnel. Here in New York State, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced that all New York professional sports teams may begin training camps starting now.
I believe that sports that can come back without having people in the stadium, without having people in the arena, do it. Do it. Work out the economics if you can. We want you up. We want people to be able to watch sports to the extent people are still staying home.
Those remarks again coming from this past weekend, so expect to see some coverage of training camps this week. But what a treat we had on Sunday and over the weekend as four titans of the sports world teamed up against each other in a COVID-19 fundraiser golf match. Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning versus Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady. This was fun. Now, the weather might not have cooperated down in South Florida, but the players rolled with the punches. Nevertheless, it was a soaked but successful day for all those taking part. 18 holes, best ball on the front nine, and alternate shots on the back nine. Tiger playing at his home course, Coach Manning for some huge putts, but it was Tom Brady that had the shot of the day on 7. After getting scoffed by Charles Barkley, Brady from 100 yards out with the wedge gets the ball in the cup with a proper response to Barkley.
Take a second at Chuck.
Brady and Mickelson, however, could not get over the hump as Manning and Tiger stayed the course to a one-shot victory. $20 million raised for COVID relief, but what a treat it was for the four of the greatest athletes in the world, offering us a glimpse of who they are when they aren't winning major championships or Super Bowls. Switching gears to Syracuse athletics, the spring sports seasons got cut short back in March due to the global pandemic. On the tennis court, the Orange are starting to gain some national relevance. Its two seniors, Guzal Yusupova and Miranda Ramirez, had their season cut short, but were given an opportunity by the NCAA to come back for one more year of eligibility. Assistant coach Jennifer Meredith says it was tough, but the job isn't finished.
When we got the news about everything, we had a team meeting, and obviously the girls were devastated. We were coming off some big wins, and everybody was excited for the season, but Miranda and Gazal especially, they felt like they had some unfinished business. So I would say from the start, they kind of left with a bad taste in their mouth, hoping that they would have another chance to play. So when we did hear the news, I believe it was a fairly easy decision on both of them, and they're great. They're great leaders. They're great players. They represent Syracuse tennis well. So we're super fortunate to have them back for another year.
It'll be exciting to see Guzal and Miranda and the rest of the Orange back on the court next spring. That does it for sports. I'm Bailey Redondo for NCC News.
I'm Van Zelbridge. Coming up at 4:45, we have the latest on Governor Cuomo's effort to reopen the state after Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you then.
Our last story this afternoon, the Syracuse City School District, along with schools from Rochester, Binghamton, Maryland, Virginia, and Georgia, are giving back to the community.
More than 60 middle and high school students around the Syracuse area have made handwritten postcards for seniors. The student volunteers wrote a simple note and signed the postcard, which will be delivered to different communities. If you are interested in supporting the Love Letter Project, head to NCC News online.
That's it for your 4 p.m. newscast. I'm Dana Casulo.
And I'm Keenan Dixon. Thanks for sharing your time with us. Stick around for our NCC newscast at 4:45. Goodbye, everyone.